All right, so I want to give you a quick rundown on what you need to do for the revising copy of your paper. Um, the revising copy in the instructions, it says you need to first attach your document from the rough draft to the revising assignment. So you just need to take the document you did for rough draft and attach it to the new assignment so that you're not having to recreate a whole new thing. All right. Second, it's time to revise your poem and make it a poem. Like if it's not a poem yet, you need to revise it and make it a poem. You'll be putting your revised draft in the rough draft from the rough draft. You're going to be putting it below it. So what that means is when you're looking at this, some of you are wondering what these boxes were underneath. You're going to want to take your poem that you had written the rough draft of, and you can just copy it, Control C, and then Control V will put it right there. All right. Same thing with this one, although this one's a little bit different. It doesn't look like a poem yet. So I'm going to choose to start taking things out of there and putting it down here and make it into a poem as part of my revision process. I'll show you that in just a second. So it says, now that's where you're revising it. So the requirements for you on this document is that you need to start putting in those words that were at the top of the list, like alliteration and those kinds of things. So as we revise it, you're going to copy and paste it down below. That's what we did right here. And third, you'll need to use four poetic devices per poem. So if you're using 4 per poem, you may use one device twice in each poem. So if you choose, down here, if you choose to use like 2 metaphors in your poem, that's okay. But for the 4, you can only reuse one twice. All right. Unless you use a limerick or a haiku, you'll need at least 2 stanzas per poem as well too. So 2 paragraphs minimum. If you go farther than that, that would be fine too. So I'm trying to get out of this so we can look at the other papers. So let's just go ahead and jump to it. All right, so this document, you're going to be putting them down here. So if I started going, I already have a rhyme scheme started on this first one, see, me, pink, think. So I might continue with rhyme scheme down here and make rhyme scheme one of my 4 things. Then I would be thinking about sensory details. Maybe I can up these like colors that blink all around me. Let me talk about how it blinks. How does it look to blink? Am I going to count syllables? Counting syllables would give it a meter, a rhythm. That would be one of the things I could use. So anything from that list up at the top, I need to do 4 of them in there. If I have a rhyme scheme, then it won't be free verse, so that's fine. If I give it a meter, sensory details, put an onomatopoeia, I need 4 of those. So any 4, and I could use one more than one. So if I use onomatopoeia twice, then I just need 2 more things. All right. And so that's where it goes at the top. So if I do rhyme scheme, it's got to be the same rhyme scheme through the whole poem. That's how you use rhyme scheme. Now, and I'm going to make all my changes on this second one because I need to be able to show what I did for revision. Now down here, I need to start making this look like a poem. I might start out with, I had some good friends. Now, if you don't want to retype it, you want to copy and paste it down in there, that's fine, but then you got to start adjusting it. And I'm even going to go with that next line. They live far away now. And one of my things could be free verse. If I decide not to do rhyme, I would call that free verse. That would be one of my things. Then I'd be starting to think about metaphors and that kind of thing. So that's how you fill out this paper. Don't worry about this last box yet. That's going to happen with our final draft. What you need to do is be revising your poems. Make sure you hit those things. You have to have at least 2 stanzas per line, and you work your way through it. And all your revisions go in here. If you wanted to copy and paste it all down here, that's fine for this kind of entry. It's just you need to change it into a poem after that. So then you just keep typing on that. So I might say, I'm sad I don't live close, because that's kind of my theme for it. I'm sad I don't live close. And I'm just going to keep going with my poem. All right. And if you use a haiku or a limerick, those are a little bit different because they're only 1 stanza each. So you would only need to do 1 stanza for those instead of 2. That's the only thing. So if you have any questions, just make sure you email